Russia for round 5. Of course, as you can see, Q1 has started, so we're just waiting to see who's going to be the first one tonight. Of course, a couple of guys like getting out there as quickly as possible. Some of them rather sit and go at the end. Fun enough, still waiting, which is a bit unusual. Sorry, just want to get all the stuff sorted. A couple of guys very eager for the stream tonight, not sure why. So let's just get that off to them. Getting our information as always. That data and of course that map and just get some details. Carboy, Quentin, Nismax, Boinkies and Vino on our slab so far. Guy that almost missed qualifying, had some issue connecting. That's why the stream also started a little bit later than usual. Just gave Quentin a chance there just to make it, and he did manage. And hello there, Mr. Chen. Now it's just your turn. This game is on special, then you can race with. But maybe not worth it because a couple of guys probably will obviously switch over to 2020 once that game is released in July. Of course, as you can see, Pete B-Man is out there. Of course, out there I mean out of the session. He did retire. He's serving a quali ban. He's not allowed to partake in qualifying tonight. He had to retire, of course, here at the start. So he will be back in the race. Thank you, Staffy. Like that, before I even ask, lately Staffy's on the ball, saying it's a dry race. Of course, as much as he say that, one thing I found in recent weeks, and also even on career mode, doesn't matter what the weather predictions say, what happens in the race is not always what the predictions say. So instances where it says rain when you don't see rain, or more often where it says no rain and yet you still see rain, so we'll just have to wait and see. But definitely obviously a dry qualifying so far. Devon out there, of course, tonight he's one of the reserve drivers tonight. He's representing of course the villains, the Rocket villains. He's driving in the place of Hugh Boucher, who is ill. Wishing him a speedy recovery and hope to see him back soon. So whatever points Devon get tonight, he's going to the villains. Oh, and Steph complaining about errors. So game at the moment is one big error. Quentin meantime went fastest with a 132.7. Vino a whole second behind, 133.9. Carter Boy with the invalidated lap. Still waiting for Gav Pickenazzi, the V2 blink. Of course, a guy here, Fox 13, you know him better as Raptor 13. Had a bit of a name change, middle of the season. Of course, as Steph said on the group here, potential 10 points to be deducted for changing the name mid-season. Of course, a couple of guys is known to change their names, and of course this is one of them. Currently we're in second place at 133.4. One of that days that name probably will show carrots or potato or something like that. Nou, cool, Lindsay. No problem. So nice om jou te sien. Extra driver, and I think you will enjoy it. It's pretty much the same guys that you compete with on a Thursday night in Project Cars. So as you can see, pretty much the same way. There's Gavin, there's Vos, there's not Kimi, not Sebastian. Devin is there, so it's pretty much the same boys. 80. One thing about these different leagues, it's pretty much the same guys in most of those leagues. Of course, some of the leagues have a few different people racing compared to others, but some of these guys are pretty much in all of those leagues. Now Sebastian currently second, 133.0. Getting closer to Quinton. Of course, this is just to make sure you make it through to qualifying 2. No real effort, and actually no need to, because 15 drivers go through to Q2 and Pete retired, so that already allows 15 cars to go through. They can just post a lap time. Oh, staff says PSN error. I saw tonight actually when I sent when the invites went out as well for the guys to join the lobby. There was a bit of a delay. First, he didn't want to send the invites. It's one of those weeks, because earlier this week, of course, I streamed for midweek racing as well on a Tuesday night, and on Tuesday it was also that solidarity race where the guys couldn't initially race because it was a server issue. They all ended up starting later than scheduled, and of course the same night for me I couldn't change channels, because obviously that one gets streamed to that channel where these races get streamed to this channel, and as a result I couldn't change. I had to use this channel. Hence you will also see there's a midweek racing race on this channel for this week. It's just unfortunately one of the things that happened, but it looks like it didn't really sort itself out. Now it's even PSN errors coming up, and that's what's costing guys the opportunity to race online, etc, etc. Because that's also why you don't see Staffy on track as yet, because he pretty much left the session as a result of that error. Gav pick on the outlap now. Carter Boy back out. Not Fernando on the outlap here. His teammate there. I'm going to see what some of the guys had some ideas to do with helmets tonight. Not seeing, there might be one. But then again, he always have a bit of a yellow and green, Mr. Springbok Gamer. A couple of guys suggested sporting a livery that's very similar to Senna, or the actual Senna livery. Of course, well, today actually is for remembrance of Senna, of course. Like 25, 26 years ago, that long already. Of course, everybody talks about Senna passing away. Of course, what was also unique about that weekend, he wasn't the only person who lost their lives that weekend. Of course, Roland Ratzenberger also lost his life on that same race weekend. And Staffy did manage to join. Let's hope he can reclaim that car and be able to go out. I see AD also left. Boinki's retired, so obviously he did enough. He knows he's through to the next session. And Boinki's here a bit late there with a weather report. Staffy beat you, and he beat you by some time. But thanks anyway. Because nobody really, we don't really need to worry about going all out to put a blistering lap and then run the risk of crashing out, and then the whole qualifying session is gone with it. All they need to do is just to post a time. Of course, they will all go through with Pete retiring. Not sure, as I say, that here goes force out, not sure why. It's already through. 8 minutes to go. I would rather save all of that for the next session, and of course Q3. pole shootout, that extra 6 points. Of course, for pole position gets 6 bonus points. Couple of guys in the pits, of course, knowing way through already. Staffy did manage to get his car, he's on his way out. Just at least feel for this track and set a time. Mr. Pink and Green, or Greeny. Oh, not Kimmy leaving the session now. He did say for the last couple of weeks it was brilliant, and tonight all of a sudden the internet is not good. First day of a new month, a lot of people online, a lot of people downloading. Of course, lockdown now in phase 4 doesn't mean that it's over, so a couple of people still relying heavily on internet, and of course that extra traffic can also give guys a bit of a difficult time staying connected. Staffy actually did change his helmet, not 100% the same as Senna, but a color scheme there that's actually going in with what I said earlier, so, and of course support for remembrance of Senna. Oh, big corner cut we just saw there with RDV, but a big corner cut there behind him. Not Kimi managed to rejoin, let's hope that's the last of it. It's okay for qualifying, but the last thing you want is to disconnect in a race, because you can lose some serious places there. Let's see what Raptor can do if there was a purple first sector. Of course, the second and last sector here is what's important. That's where time is actually made or lost, and that's actually the big thing to your lap. What do you do in these last 2 sectors? Final corner coming over now, and he did manage to go faster. Very close at the front, really. Foss a 132.6 and Quentin a 132.7. These cars out when he shows an X. Not sure if he, but I think he did actually get his car back there, because AI won't just go out to do qualifying. Staffy come around, he had an invalidated lap, so he'll have another go. Capix will have some time to make up to get closer to his teammate. And actually, as I say that, he was on a better lap, a 132.7 as well. 400s between him and Quentin. Very close up front. Because as you can see there, the two not boys. Look at those times there. Not Sebastian a 133.006 and not Kimi a 133.066. Of course, this is just Q1. Nothing to get all excited about. The real stuff is yet to come. Carter boy going out again. That's probably maybe just using this as a bit of a practice, get some extra track time under your belt. Get that confidence going. Okay, and Forza has decided enough is enough. He will wait for the next session. Springbok game on the out lap. He comes around now to start out lap. 80 retired. See yellow flag. Not sure if that is something happened there. He retired out on track. Quentin also had enough. On board your staff, he's coming around now, approaching that yellow flag sector. This makes retires as well. Just as we come around, that car was actually removed. See a couple of guys now retiring, realizing enough is enough, they don't need to go out again. Waiting for a few pit sitters there to retire as well. And the guys out there on lap still is Vino and Steffi. Of course, Springbok Gamer. Springbok Gamer looks like actually a purple second sector. Ooh, and he overcooks it. It's a little bit late here on the brakes. Great second sector, and he just went in a little too late and couldn't get the car to turn in. See how much they do with that, jeopardize him obviously there. Didn't improve, but of course he will be able to do one more lap. That's Sebastian also retiring. Waiting for his two teammates, and there we go. Gapik also doing the same. Staffy as well. So Springbok Gamer, Carter Boy and Vino. That's the guys still out there on doing some laps. Vino now with the purple second sector. He did manage to get the car slowed down. A little bit of a twitch there coming out the corner. Last corner is coming up. And Vino improves a bit. He goes into 8th. Okay, he bails out of it. He's not going to go another lap, so he's done. What's Fernando done? Devon done. Springbok Gamer and Carter Boy. See what Springbok Gamer does. He moves into 13th. Just waiting for Carter Boy to finish his lap, and then we will be done. Yeah, I saw you back, Steph. So what was the real issue with? What did they say? Or did you find out what was wrong? Not the not squad, the flakka squad. When you're gonna hear about conspiracy theories aplenty again. You know what Gav is like. Carter Boy coming around for final corner now. No change. He's staying in 15th, but that brings the session officially to an end. And on we go to Q2. Just confirmation how they finished. Of course, this is just to get the first 5 usually. Of course, in this case, a couple of guys not available tonight, so only one person eliminated, and that is Pete B-Man. So it's top 15 confirmed there. Of course, next session we'll see another 5 drivers get eliminated. Who that is, we will have to wait and see. And Q2 is underway. Oh, and all of a sudden it looks a bit cloudy here. It's not a bit sunny, but cloudy. Of course, when there's clouds, track tend to go a little bit cooler. You want a nice hot track for those tires. Speaking of which, we just want to do this so we can see who's doing what. As you can see already, a couple of guys decide to do a little bit different strategies compared to the rest. Staffy out there, for a change, going out early again. Of course, in front of him there's Carter Boy. Quentin's also out. Actually, no, not Carter Boy. Yeah, there we go. Carter Boy is actually, it was him indeed. For a moment I thought it might have been Vino, but of course this is a long pit exit. Only almost into corner 1. That's why it actually shows outlap so much later. Quentin to change his helmet as well. He's got the Senna livery, not something to replicate it, but the actual Senna livery. Got a boy running with wide V, of course, still outlap. Staffy just holding back a little, just making sure that he's got more than enough of a gap between him and Carter Boy. The last thing you want is to be an outlap, and when you catch the guy in front, then they actually slow you down. AD on his way out. Slowing down massively to get the faster car to come into clear air. Don't want to be in the way. I'm sure Quentin will also appreciate that. Not a lot of drivers always aware of that. Of course, where's that faster car when you're on your way out. Nice all-round awareness there by AD. Carter Boy with a little bit of corner issues tonight. Not Kimi is on his way out, and he starts hard lap now. Primo Game is also out there. Only not Kimi so far for a not sober team. All three Oceans 3 boys went out already. Springbok Gamer, Staffy, and of course Poinky's on track. Not sober, it's only not Kimi. Quentin a 133.5, of course on the medium tyre. Playing the long game again. Let's see what Not Kimi can do. Purple second sector, of course he is on the softer tyre. Not Kimi always talked about becoming a Power Ranger. Of course here we're in Russia tonight. Well known for vodka, and he says he becomes a Power Ranger on vodka. Funny enough, his helmet design actually makes you think of that, a red Power Ranger. Coming around for final corner, and he does a 132.4. So that's already a bit quicker compared to the previous session. Let's match a 133.1. He's currently in second place. Cappic on his way out now. Here we go, not Sebastian also on his way out. Not Fernando is also on the out lap. Both VSK boys out there, Vino and Carter Boy now going out again. Of course, just to show you the difference, of course teammates there have a green livery. But as you can see, Vino's nose is green compared to the blue of Carter Boy. That's how you can actually identify the two, who is who, basically with VSK. Oh, Vino, big moment there. He managed to regain control of a car, but that would have cost him some time. Rather cost for time and still be in it. He can go out again, do another lap. Funny enough, on the picture you can see the medium, but yet if you look at the schematic here, it shows soft. Oh, back end steps out again, and he did slam the barrier. Luckily no damage. Was more with the back end, but no, he did actually touch it with its front wing as well. End plate is missing. So he's obviously on his way back to the pits. Just over 8 minutes to go. Only 7 drivers have set that time so far. So it's going to be busy on track now. RGDV fast, not so, of course, all there and out laps. Top 6 back in the pit. Not Kimi be the most comfortable of him. He's safe. But we'll definitely see him through to the next session. RCDV with a purple first sector, but he did damage his front wing. End plate's gone. Not something very serious, you can race like that, but your downforce is affected, but you can still do a lap with it. Oh, unfortunately invalidated lap. Got a slow moving car, here we go, Steffi. Yeah, I think he's out of fuel perhaps. Going very slow here, not even getting to third gear. Got Fernando back in the pit. He's currently in the drop zone. 6 minutes to go. Almost there. And it looks like, yeah, Foss is diving into the pits. He's not going to continue. Of course, 5 minutes 40 to go. You still need to set the time. He's in the drop zone at the moment as well. Devon now not lap. Vino of course out as well. Looks like, of course, that is the guys just getting past Staffy, who's going very slow. He did manage to find his way back to the pit. Eddie on his way out again. Staffy retiring, enough's enough, he's not gonna worry any further. Got Fernando on his way out again. Forsy's on his way out, just over 4 minutes to go. Of course, he's in danger of being eliminated, so he seriously needs to put up a lap and make sure it doesn't get invalidated this time. He knows how it is well. It's only Vos and Vino who haven't set the times yet. The moment in the drop zone, finding them in the company of Carter Boy, not Fernando and Devon Alice. Vino goes third at 132.7. That will definitely see him go through to the last qualifying session, so he's definitely safe. Vino will obviously come in and retires. RGDV has retired. Carter Boy's retired, so confirmed thing. Staffy and Carter Boy definitely eliminated. Devon and not Fernando fighting. See if they can get themselves out drop zone. Ooh, and a big incident there for AD. AD lost the car there, clipped the barrier front, well, wheel gone. So that's his qualifying over. He was sitting there in 10th place. But of course, with that car as is, he won't be able to participate. So he won't go through to Q3. I think, and with that said, Boinky saw that, he decided he is retiring as well. Devon coming back in the pits, can he actually turn it around, have one more go? Each time, we just need to get out immediately. Let's see what Vos is doing. Purple second sector, can he keep it together? Not as fluent, but Silvers will see him in the top 10. Yeah, it goes further, 132.5. But he will have one more go. Or will he? No, he's lagged off. Not worth it, of course. One more session to go. You don't want to risk the car now. Under a minute to go when this session is over. Not Fernando did manage to lift him out of the drop zone. That actually puts Boinkies in the drop zone. So Boinkies is eliminated, Staffy and Carter Boy. Of course, AD will not make it through either. Devon did not go out, Springbok game didn't go out, so they can retire. Quinton can also. Force on his way back, not Fernando as well, so this session is pretty much over. Just waiting for those guys sitting in the pits to retire. The ones on the way back to the pits just to get into the pits and then retire. No, Steph, I actually caught the back end of it. He did actually make contact. He did make contact with the barrier. I saw a wheel come off. So I'm surprised, but well spotted. I'm surprised that he's actually not showing at the bottom. But the wheel definitely came off. And that is Q2, done and dusted. So just confirmation, we're just going to have 9 cars going through to the next session. Guys eliminated is 80. Just confirmation there, staff, that is definitely a genuine retirement. So that's why he's out. 80 is out, Boinkies, Springbok Gamer, Staffy, Devon and Carter Boy. So we'll only have 9 cars going through. Well done to the BPP boys for having 3 cars in Q3. And also well done to Not Sober, also 3 cars in the top 3. And then of course the 2 Flaco boys there. And Vino as well there amongst them. But of course this is what it comes down to. There's all important Q3, pole shootout. Of course it gives you the honor of starting in front, and of course it's extra points. A whole 6 points extra just landing it on pole position. Yeah, I say the same, Steph. I was hoping or thinking the same, but that's why I didn't want to comment, because I knew this game was going to prove me wrong. Because in my opinion the car that was placed for higher should have actually just went up, but this game doesn't do it. I saw this before. If the 5 from 11 to 15 gets eliminated and someone else crashes, sorry, take him with him and only 9 goes through. Because technically speaking, that car that crashed out should have moved down to the bottom, and of course then the others all moved up. But yeah, something that the Codemasters hopefully can look at. So RZDV's on his way out, Gapik still sitting there, Force is on his way out, not Kimi's out there, not Sebastian, Quinton, not Fernando still there, Nismax is out, Venus on his way out, so pretty much just Gapik and not Fernando in the pits, everyone else is out. Even more overcasty now. Let's see what these guys can come up with here, what sort of time. At a 1:32.4 in Q2. Is 1:31, is it on the cards tonight? Is it possible? Of course I won't say no, because anything is possible. It's only impossible once it's proven impossible. Not Sebastian, of course, the guy leading them all. First car out. Pretty much everyone else is now on track. No cars in the pits. All 9 drivers on track. Here we go. Not Fernando, not Sebastian's already coming around, starting his hot lap. Second contract is actually RZDV. Of course, the 2 teams that's fighting each other for that constructors. Of course, everyone else is on hot laps. Not Fernando and Gapik showing out lap, because they did go out a little bit later compared to the rest. Lots of talk and team strategies today leading up to this race. Let's see what these guys actually do about their strategies and if they're actually going to use it. Not Sebastian had a purple first sector, of course. First car through at speed. Shortly after RGDV also hit purple. Importantly, you can keep the space up through this last sector. Not Sebastian come around now, and a 132.3, there we go. Already faster than the 132.4 that we saw in Q2. RGDV do 132.8. So already two cars across the line, and they actually did a 132 and make it free. Kimi now a 132.1. So that 131 is possible. We already have a 132.1. So we saw 132s already in Q1. Of course, Force did the fastest lap there. Not Kimi in Q2. But we must say the not sober boys were looking very good. Because can somebody dethrone them? Otherwise it's going to be all not sober front row lockout. Gav big dives into the pits. Validated his lap, so he's probably going to come in, put on new boots, and not Fernando goes 8th. Yeah, no one else in the pits as yet. A little bit of a lag there on not Kim by the looks of it, but of course as already shown earlier, a bit of a connection issue. Internet can make or break your night. And he's coming back in the pits. Not Sebastian's already in there. RGDV as well. Of course, change to new boots, get the right amount of fuel and have another go. Just under 6.5 minutes to go, so plenty of time. But that's the thing, Lindsay. They're not drunk. They drive like this when they're not drunk. When they're not sober, it doesn't really look like this. But you see, there's no Uncle Charles calling the shots there for the race strategy. And I must say, these two have been pushing each other this whole season so far. Last week, of course, race winner, not Kimi, not Sebastian, third place. Not Quinton. Safwan Quinton did manage to split the two. So let's see what happens tonight. Of course, big rivalry here between Not Sober and BPP. Not Sober did manage to close the gap last week. A little bit closer between second and third in the constructors. Biggish gap between first and second. But in the drivers it's all to play for the top 5, for even 6. Definitely in the running for to be champion. Any one of them can take it. Gavpik on his way out. Of course, he haven't set the timers yet. Oh, it takes too much corner already. This is not going to help if he continues that trend. His teammate already battled earlier with the same. Wiener now retires. He feels he's done enough. He's not going to be able to go faster, so he's happy. Of course, the Flakker boys just battling with keeping the car in the right place around the corners, not to take too much of a corner, but so far not a lot of luck. Because Force did have to go more than once before he could set a lap. Of course, this I'm talking about previous session as well, not just this session. Now Gavpik is just setting, continuing with that trend. Coming around now, of course, going to have another go. See if he can do better this time around to keep the car on track. Don't put too many wheels off. Don't take too much of the apex. Not Fernando on his way out again. Yeah, because of a purple first sector, can he keep it clean? Of course, as I said earlier, first sector doesn't mean much if you don't put it all together in the second and third sectors, because those is ultimately is where the time is gained or lost. You might have a purple first sector, but doesn't mean fastest lap, because sector 2 and 3 actually cost you time. So let's see what the pig can do. Purple second sector as well, looking good. One more sector to go. Keeping it clean, not cutting. Just the right amount of curb. Second last corner. Around the final corner now. Coming for down to the start finish line. And only 6. Purple first sector, purple second sector, and yet only 6th place. Really lost some time in the last sector. His teammate is out there as well. Of course, Vino with the 2 Flakker boys all in the 132.6s. Not Kim is going out again, as well as not Sebastian. RCDV on his way out as well. Not sure if Quentin's going to go out again. If he wanted to, he had to go out by now. And he will not have enough time to come around to start the hot lap, so safe to say Quentin is done. Because even going out now, there's not enough time to come around to start a lap before the checkered flag comes down. Because everyone else was out with more than 1 minute 33, 34. They will all be able to do one more lap once the checkered flag comes out, as long as they cross that start finish line before the checkered flag comes down. Not Sebastian, just letting a few cars come past. We're also going to slow down just to let them get out of his way in front. The soft one Quentin has done, as I said already. Gaffbeek, funny enough, also he dived into the pits. He didn't go for another lap. This Max on an out lap. He's just going to be able to come around in time, so he will be able to do another lap. Funny enough, Gaffbeek, that's Quentin made it clear from the start he's not going to go out again, but surprisingly Gaffbeek. But anyway, Voss in second place now, 132.2. He dives into the pit, so he's done. What can the not sober boys do? Oh, not Kimi with the invalidated lap. And looks like not Sebastian as well, so the top 3 pretty much confirmed. Of course, not Kimi has done enough. Not Sebastian had to find another 10th and a bit to make sure he can get it into second. So it's not going to be a all front row for not sober. The boy there from Flakker Force, of course, that managed to split the two. And Nesmax also showing support towards the Senna. Also the yellow and green in there. Of course a bit of blue. Ooh, back in stepping out there a bit wide. See if he can still improve even with that. Nope, answer is no. Nesmac stays 8, and as you see there, Pete B-Man left the session and a very, 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 very bad time to leave a session. Of course, qualifying is officially over, and you need to be in the lobby as it goes from qualifying to race. Of course, if you're not in the lobby once you move over from quali to race, when you're out, you can't rejoin then. So a very crucial time to leave a session. Not sure if it's internet or it was intentional. Waited all this time, so it would be a bit silly to go out now if you did it on purpose. You waited all of qualifying, and now the race is here. Now you leave. But anyway, he did switch out. He did join. So let's hope he can still partake in the race. Of course, it's confirmation. Your top three there, not Kimi, Voss, not Sebastian. Of course, the rest of the grid, of course, from 4th to 9th is Safwan Quinton, Vino, Gafpik, RJDV. His teammate Nismax way behind him, and not Fernando taking the 9th place. Looking good for Not Sober, and of course BBP. All three drivers were in the top 9. But now, of course, 100% race. It's about keeping it all together, having the right strategy, teamwork, etc., etc. So who can make it count tonight? Just waiting for everybody to finalize their strategies. Of course, once somebody has readied up, you will see obviously the counter start ticking down. Pete has joined, but I don't see Pete's name, so Pete is not going to be part of his race. Now you see only 15 drivers indeed. There is no Pete there. Even if he rejoined, he did not do so in time. But in fact, I'm not sure if he disconnected again.
Moet ook neerzetten om te gaan. Yeah.
Right, everybody ready? So formation up to start. Right, just getting the schematic ready. Oh, okay, it does show Pete Beeman, but he's in the pit, so nope, that confirms that he's definitely not in the race. He actually disconnected at the worst possible time. So that is Pete's race gone, out before he even started. Of course, a long straight down there to the first corner. Just hoping the guys can keep it clean. A couple of guys obviously will hope for a few collisions when they can make up some positions. Always an interesting one. Checking if the doggy dog is behaving himself there. Him and his team, actually all three Oceans boys were right with each other. Boinkies followed by Springboard Gamer, followed by Staffy. Interesting battle in the team. The faster one of the three is in front, but obviously starting on the harder tyre. He's going to go for a long stint. Because if it works out, everything counts in your favor. You keep it clean, it can actually be a good one. Of course, Pointer starting on the harder tyre, and when you have to do a wing replacement, like only a lap or two in. Yeah, Pete, as I say, worst possible time to lose connection. Because if you're not in that lobby when it starts, it's tickets. Because you must be very settled in everything from quali over to the race. But yeah, tough luck. Internet not the best tonight. Right, and we are ready to go. Watch for the lights. Go, 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 go. Oh no, not sure what happened there, but not Kimi not getting away, and as a result his teammate ran into the back of him and actually picked up front wing damage. The whole grid was pretty much away before he started moving, and as a result he actually jeopardized his teammate as well. Oh, and a big moment there for AD. Of course, Pete is not in the race. AD with a huge spin, so he's at the back now. Yeah, he's got front wing damage, so he probably will make his way back to the pit. Staffy kept it clean. Oh, not Sebastian here running at the back. It's going to be a long one. But Wazi, well, not Kimi, was very slow to get away there. Stood still, a couple of cars already passed him by the time he get moving, and he actually caught his teammate out. His teammate started right behind him and of course ran into him. As a result, he's got wing damage, as you can see. So he'll probably also make his way to the pits. Recovery drive pretty much for Not Sober now. But Fernando moved up 3 places. Vino there in 5th. Nesmax, a big winner there. Up to 4th behind his teammate there, Quinton. Of course, Force managed to go from 2nd to 1st, and Gapik also with a massive jump there. So the winners definitely the Flakka boys and BBP as well. Because they just need RZDV to catch up. He is there in the top 10 with them. So definitely Flakka and BBP the big winners. Not Sober actually their worst enemies, their own worst enemies tonight. Not Sebastian coming into the pit. AD actually staying out with that wing damage. Not Sebastian probably will go into the harder. Yep, there we go. We'll do harder tires now. Not a very abrasive track, so he can actually do a good 50 to what, 35, 36 if not more. As I said earlier, it's just about keeping it clean. RJDV losing a place there. Poinky's putting him under pressure. The Ocean's 3 boys hunting there in the pack tonight. Not Fernando keeping his car just in the right places, the right time. Of course, next time round DRS will be available. You see, not Sebastian very far off. Of course, it's not over. It's only lap 2. You have won in a position like this before, and of course, there's always the opportunity should a safety car come out, and that's always possible. We already saw several safety cars in the previous races. You can see the Flakka boys also did what some of the other guys did. Of course, in quali I mentioned VSK, Carter Boy and Vino. Vino with green wings and Carter Boy with blue wings. So if you can see the 2 cars here, Gafbeak and Foss, if you look at those cars there, Foss actually sporting more red on his car compared to Gafbeak. Of course, it's all the same team. As you can see, it's predominantly the same, but some of the guys just did a few things different, so they just stand out from their teammates, so obviously the people can also spot them. Oh, so well done there for Fossey, making it extra red, getting away from his teammate. I'm not sure if his teammate's letting him get away, or he's actually both of them hard out racing, and Gafbeak just can't keep up with him. There's Max trying to chase for him. He's not in front of his teammate. Obviously he's on the softer tyre, so you want to get away. Vino hanging on there as well. Kimi meantime made it back to 6th place. Luckily no damage, so his recovering drive is underway. His teammate with much more work to do. Not Fernando, and actually Devon Ali's now in 8th, not Fernando up to 7th all the way. Not all lost here for the Not Sober boys. Definitely not over for Not Sebastian, he's definitely gaining. And don't rule out safety cars yet, still early days. Kimi just over 1.5 seconds behind these two, Vino and Quinton. Quinton just outside DRS of his teammate. Of course, and that's on the harder tyres, so he's doing well to hang on with his teammate and keeping Vino at bay, because he wants to go longer. But Kimi getting closer and closer. Gap peak just staying there. The gap is a little bit stagnant, but almost 2.5. Nesmax gap is almost 3 seconds. Nesmax just finding it a little bit difficult to hang on to them. The Flaka boys making it their own tonight. So Nesmax that managed to bring the gap down to him and between him and Gafpeak, and of course in the process also moved away a little bit further from his teammate. Oh, and for 3-second time penalty, of course, must be said. That's going to be key, because those penalties come into play at the end of a race, and that's where you actually can win or lose this race. RZTV did manage to get past Devon Alice and not Fernando, but he's some 8 seconds behind not Kimi. Still hanging on there, trying. We'll have DRS again. Quinton will just place it in the right place, and this time Vino is going to stay on the outside. Quinton goes a bit deep. Vino will have the inside, or a bit of contact there, but nothing major. Quinton with a better drive out. Now Vino will have to watch for his wing. And with this battle, actually, not Kimi also came much closer. He's also now in DRS range. RZTV also now gained time at the back. Vino just too far behind. Not gaining on Quinton now. Actually, not Kimi is going to make a move on him on the inside. And he's through. Not Kimi is through. So he's going to chase now after Quinton. He's going to obviously fancy his chances there to Quinton. And Vino would just like to hang on to him. Of course, if not Kimi can get through, then he also want to follow through. Would not want to stay behind Quinton for too long. Obviously, different strategies. Need to make the best of his soft tyres. As you saw there as well, Gafpick also with 3-second time penalty. So both Flaka boys with time penalties already. Oh, and there comes Vino, who actually saw that happen, just taking too much of that corner. Not Kimi now will have DRS. Yep, there we go, opens up. Of course, just too far back. It's now all about just to get closer to Quinton. Ultimately stay with him and then get it on the start finish straight. like he did with Vino at the start of his lap. Make it count there. Getting closer and closer. Vino right behind him. Of course, if not Kimi can get past Quinton, he would chase after Nismax in front. Quinton just getting a better drive out of the corners. The area is wide open. Cannot Kimi gain. A little bit far back. It's going to take some catchiness. Nothing's better about it. Oh, Vino having a look on the outside. See, that's the thing, if it's so close, one small error, the other guy is on it and he can take advantage. Vino through for now. These guys actually managed to open up a gap back to RJDV. It's over 8 seconds again. Meantime in front, the gap is approaching 4 seconds. Between Gapik and Nismax is pretty much the same as well. Kevin Ali's and Carter Boy battling here. Nismax now with a 3-second time penalty. Of course, these guys in front, if they rack up the penalties, it looks good for the guys being 4th and 5th. Now Kimi did get past Vino again. He's coming into the pits. Looks like, yeah, Vino's following a pursuit. They're going to change strategies. Of course, oh, not Kimi, just too fast. Not braking quick enough, and that's 5 seconds for him. Of course, he can serve it on his next stop, so that 5 seconds can be served. Get it out of the way. Kimi went for softs again, because you want to push and make up places. He did gain some good places, but dropped all the way down with that stop. Let's see if he can make use of these next set of softs and make up some good positions. That's Sebastian now coming into the picture as well. Nismax falling further back to Gapik. 5 seconds now the gap. Still just under 4 between the two Flocker boys. Looks like not Kimi tried to go for the undercut, because that's a relatively early stop compared to the rest. Because everyone else still stays out. Now I've done 8 laps on those softs. And funny enough, Safon Quinton is actually in the pits. Decided to get rid of those mediums. Not Kimi on the start finish line behind 80. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very close. Not Kimi 80. Yeah. Not Kimi is past 80 and he's in front of Quinton. So the undercut worked. Oh, an 80 and not Kimi making contact there. That brings Quinton back in the picture. He's going to definitely have a better drive. He's past 80. And Vino is coming in as well. Oh, not Kimi is going slow. Probably allowing the position back. But he's got wing damage. Oh, and things are just going pear-shaped here for Not Sober. Had contact with AD, cost him his front wing. In plate he's gone. He might have slowed actually to give a position back, because he was also a bit of a corner cutting, if you like, because of a contact where they both went off track, but the collision caused damage. So he will have to pit again. He just came out of the pit, and again the scales took more into BPP's favour. With not Sebastian behind the mole. Yeah, a bit of a time penalty there for him now, because he had to take a bit more of a corner there as he would have liked. Too many cars in front of him. The villain, really a villain to not sober tonight. Here we go, not Kimmy coming back in. Wing play replacement, and surely he's going to go on harder tyres this time. And this time he managed to slow the car down. He will also now serve that 5 seconds that he got for speeding in the pit lane on the first stop. And still another 43 laps to go after this one. Oh, now the car's like it's unnecessary stationary. Not like I already served the penalty. It's not like they did anything else to the car, but it took a while to get going again. But he's finally on his way. Both Locker boys still out there. Nesmax also still going. RDV meantime made it all the way up to 4th. Not Fernando in 5th. Definitely looking good for BPP. Twinkies now right in the back of not Fernando. Quinton 3-second time penalty. Not Sebastian putting Vino under pressure. Of course he is on the harder tyres, so is Vino, but Vino has done 6 laps less. A little bit wide. Vino got away a bit. We'll still have DRS, but it's just too far back. I'd like to do what his teammate did earlier with Vino, just use this opportunity to close on Vino, and then take him in the DRS zone on the start-finish straight. Right, final corner, can he get a good drive? Closer to Vino this time round compared to the previous DRS zone. Gaining. Gonna dive to the inside, there we go. Just gonna have the inside line. Not worth fighting here for Vino. Oh, and he runs wide. That was a massive wide tree. Almost like he was trying to make a move from out there. Oh, not Sebastian. Time penalty, but that was actually going to be outside. Funny, people cutting corners, literally nothing happens. People running wide get penalized. Codemasters really need to work on this. A couple of our guys who vivid F1 fans bought the game every year as a new one came out, but they're also fed up, disappointing. So a lot of guys actually disappointed with Codemasters in F1, as other creators actually have F1 incorporated in their games, and they actually did a better job of F1 than Codemasters, which is the official F1 game. So always sad to see, but yeah, let's see what happens going forward. Give me now, obviously all lonely at the back. Of course, Gapik would like to just stay in range. His teammate keep making errors, of course, those time penalties. That's all that it needs. Of course, if the more time penalties and the less on his side, that will breach the gap at the end. Nesmax also with a nice solid race so far. Still putting out away from his teammate. Not Fernando still keeping in front of Boinkies, and as I say that Boinkies pulls out alongside him. Not Fernando with some wing damage there, in plate gone. The Not Sober boys have been in the war zone tonight. All three of them had wing damage at some stage. Not Fernando staying out of these. Let's hope for Not Sober Gerard has got some more wings left. Of course, still another 59 laps to go after this one. Fatigue will still set in, so that's still to come as well. Carboy just had a bit of a moment there. That's that yellow flag that you would have seen, but he's on his way again. Not Kimi trying to chase him down. Big winners as well as Oceans 3, Springbok Gamers, Steffin, and of course Boinkies. As things stand, if it stays as it is now, they pretty much can jump Not Sober again in the constructors. Of course, it's Oceans 3 and Not Sober are currently fighting for that second place. If it remains as is, BBP will extend their lead. Boinkies just there we go. It was just about to say about to, and yet they did it now. Just getting out of DRS. Just making that gap, open it up to over a second so that Not Fernando won't have DRS next time round. This Max still falling back to Gafpeak, but his teammates not gaining on him either. Gafpeak staying within 5 seconds from his teammate. Devon and 80 with 14 lap old softs. Devon on 3 lap old mediums, and also DRS. Just going to take the inside, just take the brakes at the right time. And when inside but nicely on the outside done by 80. He actually had the better line. Devon were cramped for space on the inside of that corner and had to back out, and that resulted in 80 getting away from him a bit. But Devon back on it. And we're on another yellow flag. And it's Vino. Big moment here. On the car round. They've managed to get it facing back in the right way. In the right direction there. On his way, let's see. Yeah, in plate is missing. Trey did make contact with the barrier there. Will he stay out or will he dive into the pits? And it will be the second. He's on his way back into the pits. Managed to slow down the car. No penalties this time. Almost like he caught the mechanics off guard there. It's like he stopped them when they were still running out. Of course, that doesn't mean it's true. Of course, the graphics, how this game is set up and what actually happens is not necessarily the same thing. But give me now into 14th. Carboy 45 past 80. Giovanali's also in front of both of them. 80 now trying to get back at Carboy. Not Sebastian now down to 9th. I think he might have made a mistake because he still didn't stop. Actually he did stop because he's on mediums. And that front wing is all good. End plate's back. So he had to stop, so he changed the wing because there's a new end plate. Jose Divina into the pits as well. He's now on mediums. On the other hand, not sure if, but I think he had to stop because that front wing doesn't show any damage, and it did a little bit earlier. Yet it shows 15 laps already done on this set of tyres. Bit weird, but anyway, Codemaster's up to it again. Boinky's now running in 4th. Just about a pit stop between him and Nismax. And Gaffey comes into the pits. Force goes on for another lap. Oh, and another yellow flag. Looks like that's 80. No, 80 is actually in the pits, so it was not 80. Not Fernando past Steffi. Just want to see something, sorry for that. It looks like might have been Springbok Gamer. Not Fernando now chasing after Quinton. Gaffpick on his way out again. Nesmax now chasing after Force. Of course, he's still to stop. Gaffpick now on fresh rubber. See if he can make the most of it. He stopped first, so let's see if he can get some sort of undercut on his teammate, make the gap smaller. You would at least hope so. Let's see if he dives into the pits. No, he's going to stay out, do another lap at least. See what Nismax does. He's also going to stay out for another lap. Kavpik actually gaining on Nismax, so overall he will also be gaining on his teammate. So this is now where Kavpik have to push every lap that he do on this fresh rubber and his teammate stays out. This is potentially time that he gains. Gap between him and Nismax now under 10 seconds. Now Sebastian right on the back of Steffi now. Steffi fell back to not Fernando not too long ago. He was right on the back of him. Now they have a not sober car. There is wide open. Steffi goes wide. He's not even going to fight him too much. He knows it's inevitable. Not Sebastian up to 7th. He will be chasing after his teammate, not Fernando. I'm sure team orders will come into play here. Of course, the faster car is not Sebastian. Let him go through. Not Kimi, meantime, got himself back into 11th. And we got another yellow flag. Carboy 45 going slow. He's on his way into the pits. Oh, contact there with a barrier, and again. Yeah, I thought as much. Carter boy, he was going slow into the pits, still slow, hit the barrier like twice and then he retires. So that is why he came into the pits. He selected retire. Yeah, and that car is gone. Luckily AI did not take control of that car, so we're down to 14 drivers. Of course Carter boy just retired. Pete never started the race. Let's just lap 80. Still staying gap between him and Force in front, staying pretty much the same. Gap big gaining. If Gaffney can keep pushing like this, there's a good possibility of him jumping his teammate when he eventually stops. Not Kimi now behind Devon. Surely this is not going to take too long. Just a bit too far back, but gaining. When you get into that first corner, Devon goes into the inside, but in the end doesn't defend too hard. Not Kimi through into 10th place. He's now chasing after RZDV. 1.5 minutes in front of him. Sorry, I actually looked at the RGDV gap to Steffi. RGDV is 51 seconds ahead of him. Looks like not Kimi now also set the purple first sector. This Max finding to the pits. Gap peak now 22 seconds behind his teammate, who actually ran a little wide there. Quinton now manages to pass his teammate, because he will have to stop again later. Boinky is now through into 4th, but he still have to stop. Now you can see not Sebastian can see his teammate in front. We touch and go. See if Force is going to stop or not. Nope, not as yet. Here you can see who stopped and how many times. So Force and Boinkies, not Fernando. So not Fernando actually did not stop. So that schematic where the amount of laps on the tires is actually correct. So the front wing damage of earlier looks like he doesn't have damage. That explains why he was still out. Because first time around it showed in plate gone and then it showed in plate there, so it looks like the in plate is actually still there. Staffy passed by RZDV. RZDV chasing after not Sebastian. Gap peak is gaining even more fast. Gap is now under 21. It's approaching the 20-second mark. That's a pit stop. Not Sebastian in front of his teammate. Of course not Fernando behind him. RZDV approaching him, so Staffy. Purple sector weer for Gap Peak. Gap is coming down handsomely. That's right, he's definitely gonna jump Force when he eventually stops. RZDV now wanting to have a go at not Fernando. Ooh, RZDV having to go a little bit wide, otherwise he would have been minus the front wing. We'll have DRS this time around. Surely we'll have a better traction. Bit of contact. And he's passed. RZDV into 7th. And another time penalty there for Force. As you can see, as I said, when he finally came into the pits, that allowed Gafbeek to go into first place. Gafbeek actually took a big chunk of time out of Force. In the process, how he did it, he actually saved time as well by gaining more time by being so much faster. Where it was pretty much a 5-second gap for Force the first time. Now it's a 9.3 second gap for gas peak. Of course Devon now too as well is out. The Carter boy, Devon out. Pit Ballers obviously did not start, so it's down to 13 drivers. Penno for real with another time penalty. Looks like not Fernandez making his way into the pits. Managed to do 23 laps on those softs. Oh, just coming in too fast, just like his teammate, not Kimi earlier. Of course, the guys just need to look out for those time penalties, because that is going to come into play at the end. Not Kimi down to 9th. Still a 23 second gap to bridge to Staffy. So Staffy is on much older tyres as well. Those boinkies, those two yet to stop. Pino still behind, not Kimi in 10th. Gap pick actually now the one pulling a gap on his teammate. It's open to over 11 seconds. But that's what he should do, because he's on the softs. His teammate's going to go much longer. Softer tyre is faster, so he's going to have to make it count. Not Sebastian now on the back of Poinkies. Pretty much the same amount of laps down on the tyres. Current defending champion versus a previous champion. Kind of like a Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel situation. Not Sebastian staying right on the back of him, not letting him get away. DRS. Okay, not Sebastian do. He's going to go into the outside. Pointy's going to keep inside. Not fighting too much. Last thing you want is to hit the brakes late and run into the guy and win this World War III. So well done realizing that he is being outraced. Guy coming up to pass him is faster. But Sebastian now chasing after Nismax. But this time around Boinkies will have a DRS. Gaining, not Sebastian was thinking of the inside, went to the outside so you can have a better racing line. Of course into the corner so much better from there. Another 25 laps to go after this one. So we're over halfway. In the distance you can see RZDV coming. Gap a little bit stagnantly in front. Still hovering there around for 11.2. Not increasing any further, at least for now. That Kimi slowly but surely trying to get that gap between him and RGDV smaller, making huge progress at the moment. Still 13 drivers left in this race. Laps old soft. Quentin will think about pitting very soon. Only 5.3 seconds ahead of his teammate. It can go a lot further. And of course, as you can see, these two showing what you can actually do on those tires. These two were very close a lap or two ago. Already look at the gap it opened up. Now gap in front did open up a little bit more. Not Sebastian and not Kimi not making real progress at the moment. Gaps are moving but only ever so slightly. RDV right now on the back of Poinkies. Gap is open up to almost 5 seconds. Poinkies to not Sebastian, and it wasn't that long ago we used to actually fighting for that fifth place. Point is now under real pressure here from RGDV. Of course, RGDV will have DRS now. RGDV takes it on the inside. Stevie trying to have a look at not Kimi and mid-time force score another time penalty of 3 seconds. Just of course coming through to pass. Springbok Gamer and 80. Oh, and that seriously put 80 off. And that's his safety car. We got our first safety car. And there goes Gaff Big's gap. 80 fighting there with Springbok Gamer. And as a result, the car just on the wrong part of a corner. Came out there. He didn't look comfortable. Pretty much lost the car coming out of that corner. And Gaffby clearly coming into the pits. Surely he's going to move on to the mediums. So this will be his last stop. So he will be on the fresh rubber. Oh, and his teammates also coming in. Of course, Force will have the advantage of being able to go into the softs. So he can go flat out racing when we resume. Of course, the incident that triggered the safety car. 80 losing control of a car coming out of that corner. Oh, and drive-through penalty for not Kimi. Definitely not a good day in the office today. Of course, this game very harsh on any offence under yellow conditions of it being a safety car, virtual safety car, or a yellow flag. But once there's yellow, you have a penalties more severe. Gaffbeek leading, importantly fresh rubber, but so is the guys behind and they on soft. Overcast conditions, so I would say the soft is the better tyre. Gaff will have better tyres at the end as well. So you'll just need to try to fend these guys off as long as you can while those tyres come back up to heat. Quentin third with his teammate behind him. Hot Sebastian fifth, nice recovery drive at one stage last place. So he also stopped, so he's set till the end. So is RCDV in Boinkies. Not Fernandez, done 7 laps on those mediums. He's not going to stop again, he can definitely see these tyres through to the end. Dino stopped the lap before, so he's also sorted. Not Kimi changed. Staff in Springbok game as well, so everybody pretty much pitted. Of course, seeing this, see 12th place man Springbok gamer behind the 2 race leaders, ahead of Safwan Quinton. Last thing you want is a back marker between you when the safety car resumes, but for some reason the safety car does not allow slower cars to come through and unlap themselves. Of course, come past the front runners, come past the safety car, and then of course at speed racing and try to get to the back of this train. But yeah, There are instances where the safety car allows the slower cars, but that's as they approach the safety car still waiting for the front runners. So then pretty much everyone in front of those front runners actually get wave pass. Of course, lap cars in this situation is not being let through. Also, one of the debates that actually came up about fixing the game, doing something different, etc., etc. Of course, the other bashing about Primo Gamer, the race will hardly resume, then he's going to get that blue flag. Because third place man is also in there to lap him. Safety car coming in. See what Gapik can do. Can he actually get away from his teammate? There you can see how the colors is done. There you can see like a yellow with a red. Yeah, it's red with a green. Of course, there is yellow. We just change it around a little bit. But the design is pretty much the same. It's just the color that's slightly different. Okay, back to really start pushing. Might as well because he's got a bit of a gap. Can he get away? Caught his teammate napping a bit. He's on his way. Getting away actually from his teammate. There's Max chasing down his teammate here as well. So two BPP boys there in the top. So it's Flaka, BPP, BPP. Of course, when we got Not Sober and when we have a BPP. There's Oceans 3 represented there by Boinkies in 7th. When VSK and when the other two Not Sobers, not Kimi and not Fernando. Oh, not Kimi, just having a dismal afternoon. In fact, takes him back to pretty much last place. Just Springbok Gamers in front there, being led by in front, otherwise not Kimi would have been behind him. So surely that will be a wing replacement again, yeah? Yep, looks like in plate is gone. No, actually not. Wow, no damage to the front wing. So you can just continue. Okay, Pick goes fastest, but just for Quinton to go immediately faster. But that of course is for tyres, but not Kimi is coming in. So in front of him, Staffy looks like he's also coming in. Oh yeah, huge damage there to Staffy's wing. Oh no, it's actually Springbok Gamer that's coming in, sorry, not Staffy. Coming out first, Not Sober probably by the looks of it. Actually not. There goes Springbok Gamer. But as I say, Not Kim is already out there. So as much as it looked like he was standing still, he was already on his way. I showed you again what you see and how it actually plays out is not the same. Of course with the pack now tightly packed again. couple of battles obviously to keep an eye on. DRS now enabled. But Sebastian goes faster just for RDV to actually go faster. Of course these two chasing each other. Of course DRS open will put Gavpik under pressure. And his teammate is now ever so close to him. He's going to have to keep the inside line, which is what he's doing. But Force will have a much better drive over the corner. Now Force is going to have a look on the inside. But just be careful here, and he's actually too much and way too late on the brakes. Outbraked himself there, ran wide, and when he actually came back, that was pretty, very close to an unsafe return to the track. Gavpik will now have to defend to Quinton. Will not be surprised if he actually allowed his teammate to go through, because his teammate on the softer tyres would not want to hold up his teammate. Of course the mediums also last longer, so he will have better rubber or more rubber left at the end. So he can have the right tyre to make another, well, one final move at the end to push just that little bit extra there at the end. Not sure what happened here, but looks like Reno might have had a bit of an incident. But again, the pass was a bit marginal. Force outbraking himself and then running wide. He didn't lift off actually. Quentin now past Gavpik. Gavpik struggling with his tyres. As much as his tyres tend to come back to you later, you would not want to drop down the field too far, otherwise it's just too much for him to do at the end. Of course there's still those time penalties as well that comes into play. Oh, big moment there for Nismax, back in stepping out, and he actually goes off track. That promotes RZDV to fourth. Didn't manage to keep the car under control, keep it out of a barrier, so he lives to fight another day. Quinton trying to fight Force here, prevent him rolling. Oh, now he goes. Oh, and as he goes off, he actually. Oh, no, now everything goes well. And safety car again. 5-second penalty for the collision. Gavpik gets a severe collision now with Boinkies, because Gavpik actually went wide. He went wide to avoid Quinton. He went wide to avoid Quinton, but as Quinton kept on moving, Gavpik had no other way to go. He tried to stop and he actually ended up hitting Quinton. Stood stationary for a bit, and of course as he kept on moving, that actually affected Boinkies a bit as well. So things going pear-shaped now for Flaka. It looked good for Flaka for a while. Gavpik luckily were close to the penalty, close to the pit, sorry. So he dived into the pits for a new wing and he actually put on soft. So he will be pushing, so Boinkies obviously dived into the pits as well thanks to that incident. And not Kimi pitting again. Playing on the mediums, so I think he's out of softs. A lot of carnage here, but a matter of a few corners, you actually saw BPP losing their back ends, and actually on both occasions it was two different drivers. first Nismax in the first sector, and then now Quentin here in that around the second last corner. Back in just stepping out, so both of those cars, BBP something to work on for the next race. Not Sebastian now into third, he's ahead of Gav Peak. One more place and he's ahead of Nismax, all important in that championship because the three of them is right up there with each other. Literally like 2-3 points between each of them. Of course RZDV will be happy because that brings him closer to it. Oh, now RZDV coming to the pits, and he actually stopped heavily there to actually, you know, not get that penalty for spinning in the pit lane, and his teammate not taking that in consideration comes in notch and runs into the back of him and gets another 5-second penalty for good measure. So he was already on his way to change wing, so the wing damage won't bother him because that's why he came in. But the extra 5 seconds are costing him, and of course now he's serving 5 seconds for the previous infringement. RZDV back on his way. Not Fernando now actually up to 5th, Staffy up to 4th. All of a sudden things starting to look good for Not Sober again. Just not Kimi at the bottom. But the way the race has been going, there's still possibilities for points here. Safety car out, these guys can actually get a lot closer to each other again. Not Kimi just now on the start finish line. Safety car just into the second sector. Of course he would be able now to drive at pace. Already got a penalty for speeding under the safety car. Gapik now chasing down South Quinton, RZDV and Boinkies. Vino silently got into 6. Another 14 laps to go after this. All of a sudden it's wide open again. Nesmax now into second place where he tried to be a lot earlier. Of course these guys who stopped, they didn't stop again because they know they can take it to the end. Nesmax going a bit deep in there, but I think it was more to also brake that extra harder just to get brake temperatures up. Oh, Gapik 10-second time penalty exceeding track limits. As I said earlier, under the yellow it is more severe, so immediately 10 seconds, and yet the people does not learn to listen. Not Kimi now behind Gapik, because both of them have penalties. Oh, ignoring yellow flag, 5-second penalty for Vino. I actually lost track of penalties. I'll have to wait till the end to see how it plays out. Safety car coming in. Of course, Voss is now the safety car. Just backing them all up, runs a bit wide in the process. Nesmax will try to stay with him. When he goes, Nesmax want to go with, so is not Sebastian. Riding aboard you is not Sebastian, then you can see pretty much all three of him. Staff is in there, but it's pretty much the top three here that's gonna run at each other. Of course, just wanting to time it, there we go, and he's going. Of course, can't pass as yet. Oh, Nesmax sliding again. Allows not Sebastian with a better line. Don't gap it, 3-second time penalty. Now he's piling up the penalties left, right and centre. Of course Jerry's not available as yet, so not Sebastian not able to catch Nesmax. He would so desperately want to get past Nesmax so he can chase after Vos. Something Nesmax struggled tonight with. Just not on the same speed as the Flacco boys. Staff is still holding on, so it's not Fernando on those mediums. But we know trying to have a look at not Fernando, not paying off this time at least. And now Vino, no, it looks like Vino is lagging. When he's in front, when he's behind, car jumping. Never a nice thing. Oh, and there goes not Fernando. Just came a little bit too close. Surely that will be another safety car because that car is in a dangerous place. Oh wow, no. Safety car not coming out. Just as he came out of a corner, he actually clipped the inside barrier, wing damage, and that threw him into the opposite barrier. And that retired him, but I was going to say that jumping car, virtual safety car now, that jumping car of Vino, it's never nice to have a car like that jumping all over because you're not sure if that guy is in control of his car or what's happening, because when it's in front, when it's behind, and it actually becomes distracting. So we're down to 11 drivers. Let's see if we can get him in here. Just bear with me for a moment. Nesmax are now right behind Vos. So is not Sebastian. Staffy a bit out of DRS, trying to hold on. But it was always going to be these three. These guys got the speed to have a go at each other. Next time around DRS will be available. Of course these guys just want to stay as close to each other as possible. Once DRS opens up, use that to your advantage. Oh yeah, he joined. I must say, I was actually gonna say, you know, a car jumping, when in front, when in back, car jumping can be distracting. And as I want to make the comment, you actually clipped the barrier.
Yeah.
Lost a bit of concentration with that jumping car.
Yeah, I just lost a bit of concentration. It didn't take much, and then I just, yeah, probably just hit the wall at the worst possible place.
But it's always distracting when a car is jumping, a bit of lag there, when the car's in front, when it's in the back, because you get so fixated on your racing line, etc., etc., and then something as little as that actually distracts you. So, always a sad thing to see when something like that happens. But unfortunately,
you get pretty far into the race, and then it also doesn't help, obviously, with the safety cars. You know, you sort of get into a groove, you sort of get into and then the safety car comes in, and it's just like all of that. Then you get going again, and the safety car comes out, and every time you.
Yeah, those are shortly after resuming of the safety car.
I don't have the best concentration in
Oh,
the
and
world,
another
so
time penalty for Gav Peak. Things just going bad for him. So it's like Flacker's got the luck now, but not so bad earlier. And yes, and you actually made up some good places again. You were actually running solid into that top 5.
it's going nicely. Didn't have the pace I really wanted in the first half of the race. I did that 25 laps on a set of softs, and my wing was not in its full
Yeah, I
not
saw
in its full
in-plate
form.
gone. Thanks
So
for that confirmation, because at one stage it showed in-plate missing, and when it showed in-plate is there, when it showed you stopped and not. But yeah, anyway, so
yeah,
thanks for the confirmation.
so that was a little bit frustrating, because when I did have my fastest tire, I wasn't able to give it absolutely everything. I had to just back off a little bit into corners where I usually go full out, and then I actually went faster on the mediums. So yeah, a little bit frustrating. But and then here also at the end, I didn't know what to do. Finish the race on mediums, or dive into the pits, come out at the back of the queue on a set of reds, and just go for it. So
And
I think my head was in too many places, and it just led to.
And you stayed out, and you would have actually. You
led
know
to
what?
the
That actually
accident.
helped you gaining extra few places, because those guys having to pit, and you would have actually easily made it to the end on those mediums.
Yeah, I mean, I would have had a good gap of 20 to 25 seconds, and
Can not
good
Sebastian do something
10
in
laps.
DRS now?
So
Coming closer, but just not close enough. Can he stay on the back of Nismax and then use DRS on the start-finish straight? Because this is pretty much where the battle is, a freeway battle for the race win. And time penalties are just flying left, right and centre now. Let's see, good drive, and he's right on the back of Nismax. DRS will pop open now. He's still gaining. Going on the inside, DRS open now, and this is definitely going to put not Sebastian into second place. And that DRS will obviously would have bring him a little bit closer now to Foss, so he's sitting after Foss now. But Foss, if I'm not mistaken, both of them have penalties, but Foss have more penalties, so as it is now, this race is going to be not Sebastian's. And Nismax might actually get second as well. Unfortunately, that's a bigger thing with penalties, and we see that every week.
I know the penalties will definitely play their part. I don't know if you've had a good look at them, but we actually had Devon in the room earlier, and he was reading us some of those penalties, and some of the guys have got some substantial lists.
Oh yes, and Gavpik felt
So,
the wrath of a yellow flag stewards. At one stage on me immediately at 10 seconds. So ever since that contact he made with Safwan Quinton, it's almost like he gave up, and it's just now penalty after penalty. So he basically went from bad to worst. So it's actually a race of misfortune and good luck, a mix all around, because early in the race it was not a good one for Not Sober, and it was all Flaker. And yeah, now it's the other way around. Not Sebastian getting away from Nismax and gaining a little bit on Foss. Foss really going to have to be on the defensive. 7 laps to go after this one. Definitely driver of the day, I will say, not Sebastian.
Definitely a really up and down race from what I've heard, and
really up and down.
Didn't see much, you know.
Even
driving,
BBP. BBP looked for a long time solid. They were the big gainers out of all of this, and then on one lap, both of them back in, stepping out, losing control of the cars. And the second one being Quinton is actually where everything went haywire, where guys made contact and penalties are plenty. Guys diving in for wings, yeah, so, and that's all on one lap. So how things have changed around, and in a matter of a blink of an eye.
No, definitely. 100% race, and a lot can happen in that time. It's a long race, lots of ups and downs.
Boinky's feeling the pressure from Quentin. These two again, a couple of races ago in China. I think Boinky is a bit fed up here with having these guys behind him, because just behind Quentin is his teammate Staffy, and behind him is RZDV. So Boinky's feeling again BBP breathing down his neck, just like in China. Quentin now will have DRS.
That continuous pressure, not gonna help.
Quentin's gonna go to the inside. Boinky's not defending hard. Quentin into 5th. Not Kimi, meantime making it all the way into 7th. Safety cars help, a lot of nice recovery drives.
The safety car has prolonged this race, and a lot of guys that would have probably been out of it by now. Safety car has given them that extra opportunity.
That's it.
Come back into this race to make a pit stop, not lose as much time, that sort of thing. And
oh, yellow flag again. Oh, virtual safety car again.
Sebastian,
severe collision with Quentin. That is Vino. I have a feeling Vino might be reported. He's got wing damage plenty. He made some contact with Quentin earlier as well. I think there might be some incident coming out of this, because it also allowed Boinky's back in front of Quentin. So all that hard work done is undone now. That also brings not Kimi in there. Oh, not Quentin has got, sorry, not Quentin. And I do it again for the second time tonight. It's always not Quentin. Not Quentin, always not. So
you're
Quentin,
just calling them all knots.
So Quentin's got no front wing, so that's going to cost him some serious places. Not Kimi into 5th now. I mean, both knots there actually had a turn to be in last place, and they're both in the top 5. And yeah, if things went your way, it could have been still 3 knots in the top 6.
I think I could have been there in the top 6 if I had maybe just held things together. But looking at that top 6, a lot of big names up there, a lot of fast guys. So being in the top 6 and staying there, 2 very different things.
Not
Actually
Sebastian getting into the DRS range now. Oh, and Vino for real has left the session. He's out of the race, so we're down to 10 drivers. Vino not with the cleanness of races tonight. Earlier he made a bit of contact there with Quentin, and now he made some more severe contact with Quentin.
This is the man in second place, my teammate, not Sebastian. 303, he leads the championship by just 3 points.
Very close to Foss now. He's going to have DRS now. Foss is feeling this pressure, but I still think, if I recall correctly on penalties, not Sebastian is still in the better position, because if penalties come into play at the end, he still gets the win. We'll just drive a lot better out of a corner, being able to open up a gap.
So the man in the lead at the moment, that's Force 13, previously known as Raptor 13. I think there's been a name change again. He's currently 10th in the championship, 52 points, just 3 points behind Springbok Gamer. Should be a good result. Correct me if I'm wrong. Would this be his first win? Has he had a TNB win?
He did actually get a TNB win last season, so this will be his second win. But of course, as I said, penalties is going to actually rob him from the win. And there we go, another 3-second time penalty. Not helping his scores.
Force leads this race. That gap coming down ever so slightly. It was hovering at about a second. It's now now 6/10 of a second, so just over half a second. Not much in it.
Exactly what happened last time round.
This Max,
And then he gets a
sitting.
good drive out of the last corner just to fight off DRS. Much tighter line this time from not Sebastian. But Force again with a good drive out of that last corner. Not Sebastian just not gaining enough. DRS just not making a difference for him. But in the meantime, Nismax just unable to hold on to these two. Gap between him and Not Sebastian is now more than 5 seconds. Boinkies 5 seconds behind him. Not Kimi right there with Boinkies. Not Kimi smelling another position here. Can he put Boinkies under pressure? That's pretty much the two battles here. Not Sebastian chasing Vos and then Not Kimi chasing Boinkies. Because Not Kimi on the harder tyre. Oh, and another 3-second time penalty now for Nismax.
That would be the ideal, obviously, when I get the 1 knot car. Being myself already retired, you want to get those other two as high up in the order as possible, get as many points as possible. I actually wasn't paying attention. Would you remind me who was on pole today?
Give you, who do you guess?
I have no idea. I didn't actually look. I was quite focused for that.
It was actually your teammate.
Was it Kimi?
Yeah, well.
Okay, he was having.
It was actually your teammates. We were 1 and 3rd. They were split by force, but Not Kimi couldn't. Not Kimi had a poor getaway, and actually, as a result, he caught Not Sebastian out. Not Sebastian ran into him, hence that early wing change. So Not Kimi not getting away actually jeopardized both of them. But nice recovery drive from both of them, and Not Kimi past Boinkies. Not Kimi into 4th, but of course there's penalties still to come to play. So I don't think that 4th place will remain his. Because Boinkies is renowned for having little to no penalties. Oh, and Frost taking another one. Not Sebastian putting him under real pressure, being clever here, knowing if he rack up penalties aplenty, he's going to win the race. You don't need to pass him. But DRS is just not working for Not Sebastian. He just can't get closer. Been checking this out for a few laps, but yeah, stay close. DRS, in neither of the DRS zones is enough for him to make that move on Force 13.
So it's all about what that other car's got. I mean,
oh yes.
Earlier on, I was able to hold cars behind me that, just a puff of grass. I wonder if that was lag or if he just left the track slightly. But of course, getting a puff of grass there. But earlier on in the race, I was able to hold certain drivers behind me for longer than I actually expected, and it was because when it comes to the DRS where they want to pass you. There's parts of the track where you can just save your ERS, and then when it gets there, I throw it into hot lap and I throw it into Rich, because I know that guy behind me's got DRS, and yeah, he catches me slightly, but he obviously doesn't make up the ground that he was hoping for, and then you can actually, just by watching the proximity arrow, you can see that guy actively getting annoyed behind you.
If you save fuel and ERS and you just full blast where it's enough to annoy a oak there, he's not getting past you.
No, absolutely. It's like where a guy can drive on your gearbox for 2 or 3 laps and cause pressure and force a mistake. You can also force a mistake by not even passing, just staying there for long enough. If you're in front and you can annoy the guy behind you, eventually the moves are going to become slightly more erratic. And when they do,
Sebastian being clever about
mistakes will come.
this. He's really clever about this, just forcing Vos to make those mistakes. And we're on to the final lap. Like I say, he won't need to pass him because those penalties, because I don't have the exact number, I didn't keep track of it, but Vos's name did appear a lot more than not Sebastian's when penalties popped up. So I still believe his race is actually not Sebastian's.
But Sebastian currently in second place. Maybe he knows
the championship of 3 points, as you said earlier.
Maybe he does know the penalties situation. Maybe that's why he hasn't really closed that 1 second gap.
And risked it all. And yeah, because last thing you want is to have a collision, because like that chaos where Quinton's back end stepped out, he went wide and actually Gavpik had nowhere to go. He was braking and he still made contact. And that's actually where things changed for Gavpik. But he also made the mistakes up because at one stage he was leading and then his teammate overtook him and then Quinton.
Well, both your leaders have a lot of penalties and I went through that really quickly, but if I'm correct, not Sebastian will have 15 seconds worth of penalties.
Yes.
And Vos will have 21.
Hey, and that puts him 6 seconds back, but that will still be enough for second because Nesmax is 9 seconds back to them and he had penalties of his own. Oh, and not Sebastian doing it a la rally style there. And here we go. Vos comes around the final corner.
Just needs to keep the gap just like this and he should be able to.
And yes, there's confirmation. Vos takes with the checkered flag, but not Sebastian gets promoted to first place with, of course, less penalties.
Wait for Nesmax just to go.
Oh my word!
Look at that.
No, that
Poinkies.
Can't be right. No, that can't be right. Not Kimi can't jump in front. He had penalties himself. That can't be right. Is it?
It depends on the penalties.
You tell
that
me,
he
not Sebastian, even Boinkies. I can understand Boinkies had less penalties than Vos, but oh wow.
Oh wow, I wanna be in that party chat right now. I wanna hear what's going on. Oh wow, so okay. Well, I'm going to stay here because you're going to invite them here, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I'll just stay here and you can do the interviews.
I'm just trying to figure out.
I'm not going to interview my own teammate.
I'm just trying to understand, just check if that's actually real. It shows not Kimi's up there. Confirmation, yeah, Kimi only got for a 5 second penalty, so that is actually right. 5 seconds and then 15 seconds Sebastian, and then 5 seconds Boinkies. Of course, Vos, like you said, that 21 seconds, that's actually what made the difference. So yeah, Kimi, Sebastian, Boinkies, that's your top 3. Vos all the way down to 13th, Nismax all the way down to 5th, because of penalties. So just bear with me, let's see if I can get our top 3 in here. I know a certain person that will not be happy right now. So that's actually not sober, 1 and 2nd. Wow. What a race! Wow, wow, wow. I know of a certain person that's now talking big language, big words. From leading the race for majority of the time, actually at the last moment going down to fourth. And I actually had to look closely now just to see if Codemasters didn't shoot us one day, but it's actually correct looking at the penalties. Not Kimi actually had the least amount of penalties, him and Boinkies. And that's actually how they got actually promoted. But of course, safety cars brought you guys so much closer, and then those penalties came into play. So, and of course, not Sebastian, clever guy, he was fighting there for the win in the end, but knowing somehow that Force had more penalties and just stayed in second and ultimately promoted him, just for Kimi, boom, straight to the top. Guys, I must say, what a race. From earlier, not sober, we're looking out, done and dusted, out for the count. I mean, both of you actually took turns to drive in last position. Fighting all the way back. Even Boinkies actually had a drop earlier, unlucky, bit of contact here and there, but again, he also fought his way back. Flaka looked very good for a while, and then all of a sudden, after the incident with Quinton where Gaffney got wing damage, it just went pear-shaped for him. So a real up and down race. So I just want to say congratulations to you three. Well, the penalties paid off, but still not giving up, fighting all the way till the end. So, guys, I must say, well done. But of course, I'm going to stick to my driver of the day, and that's going to be not Sebastian. At that stage, when he was last, it was actually full grid still. But gentlemen, well done. Kimi, I'm going to start with you. What happened at the start? It's like you couldn't get away, and in the process you actually jeopardized your teammate who ran into the back of you, and there he goes front wing. At least that's what it looked like on the stream.
On my screen, the lights were still shining, and everybody was bolting past me. So I don't know what was.
You thought there was drive-through penalties.
I thought Force jumped the start, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know if it's lag on my side or what happened, but yeah, I was still waiting for the lights to go out.
Just like you were standing still, the next move, bang, here comes not Sebastian into the back of you.
I actually tapped a few cars, and I think after the first corner I was like P12 or 13, trying to just settle down and find a rhythm and just attack people one by one. But yeah, I don't know where to start. So many things happened.
Sure.
I got back into, I think, P7-ish, somewhere there. Got past 80, which clattered into the side of me at turn 1. I lost the wing.
Yeah, but you had to stop very, very, very soon after your previous stop.
Yeah,
that didn't last long.
I fitted softs to do another, like a 2-stopper, and I got smacked again. Stopped again, came out. I don't know. I thought I was lapped even. I wasn't sure where I was.
Clearly not.
The first set of mediums I fitted on, I thought I'll try stick them, push them to the end, see how far they'll go. If not, I'll stick on some softs and just nail it. That's when the first safety car came out, quite deep in the race. I was quite surprised.
It took a while for the safety car to come out.
Yeah, I fitted a set of softs that I had left, which was, when I got them on, they were 10% basically. So I was confident I'll make it to the end. Then we got into a situation where I was P11, Ati was P12, but he was in front of me.
Yeah, because he got lapped in that safety car. Yeah, and that safety car kept him back.
Yeah, and I saw he was trying to make space, and I got past just that left-hander before the right-hander on the back straight. And I don't know what happened, he outbroke himself, and he took me and him off. So I pitted again. And from there, that last set of mediums I bolted on. I was at the back of the pack, and I thought to myself, you got some fuel, you got ERS, just go. And everybody in front of me had softs on. So
Yeah,
that
I
initial
was
two
going to
laps,
comment about that. You actually finished the race on mediums, and you and Boinky's battling there at the end, him having the softer tyres, but you were still getting the best out of your tyres.
yeah, it was about 10 laps to go. I had brand spanking new mediums. The guys in front of me had softs. It wasn't that old, but I knew if they blunt them a little bit, I'll start getting the advantage. And yeah, that's what happened. I had some good battles here and there. All in all, I don't know what else to say. I'm dumbstruck.
Nobody saw that one coming.
I
Neither one
would
of
have
you
been
two.
happy. I almost thought to myself, just pull into the pits, retire. But I thought to myself, you know, even if I end up P12, 13, I'll get some points for the team. And yeah.
I mean,
You're right.
if you watch the race start, disappeared and come back only now, you would go like, huh?
Yeah, no, but hands down the craziest race I've ever done.
And it
in
wasn't
my
even raining.
Whole league career. I've been doing this like almost 4 years, and I've never seen something like
Only
this.
thing that was missing was rain, and it was really something else.
Yeah, no, look, if I had a few beers in me and you told me what would happen, I wouldn't have believed you. Really, I wouldn't have.
Sebastian, I mean, come on. Pretty much last place at the end of that first lap. I mean, to come back from there, to stay positive, not give up, that takes a lot.
Yeah, I knew I had to stay consistent. That was the main thing. And when I started to see the gaps closing and everything, I thought, okay, I might be within a chance. And just the cards, the cards fell in the right order. Literally.
Safety car helped as well, but yeah, I mean, a lot of other people we know would have rage quitted in that situation.
Nah, yeah, but I mean, I know the fact that we're getting points from 15th, so I knew any points would help. So that's the main thing.
Because you just want the points, make sure, because every point will help. Because especially with a championship so close as it is at the moment.
And the thing is, everyone will have their bad days when they crash out, or, you know, heaven forbid that happens, but yeah, it can happen.
Yeah.
And Boinkies, of course, also a bit up and down, also fought your way back. So pretty much all three of you were coming from fighting your way back to take the podium. So also well done there, third place. And I mean, just like what Kimi said, wasn't really expected, and here you are.
Yeah, if you had told me that I would be in second.
Sorry, say again, Boinkies? Yeah, I saw there was a bit of turmoil there because it was actually Quentin who spun a bit. He lost his back end, and when Gafbig actually tried to avoid him, he followed him, and then in the process, next move, you got a penalty as well. We got the back end of that, so it was a bit crazy there. Yeah, because you would have actually been the one who leapfrogged everybody with no penalty. But yeah, but still, I mean, if it wasn't for those penalties, where would you guys have ended? So, at the end of the day, to be on the podium, I think that was, wow, from where you guys were at one stage. Because you guys were actually all out of the top 4, top 5 at one stage. But yeah, you are just perseverance and paid off.
Oh, well, they had a good, clean battle with Boinkies at the end, which was very enjoyable. That was the highlight of my race, basically.
But gentlemen, once again, well done. Perseverance, you guys hold out where a lot of other people would have given up already. Been one crazy race, but you guys, yeah, you pulled it off, saw it through. So there, ladies and gentlemen, not Kimi, not Sebastian, and Boinky is your top 3 for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for the support as always. Next week, same time, same place. Till then, take care and stay safe. Goodbye.
Just